Hi guys, I'm Round26 and today I'm going to be giving you a guide on Batrider jungling on the Radiant side. So let's get underway. So as far as items go, you're going to be wanting to pick up a stat shield and some regen, and you can also pick up a courier, and then you're going to get Firefly for your ability, and you're going to be making your way over here ready to cut down some trees. So the reason why this strategy is so effective is not only does it give you a lot of farm and levels, you should have a blink and tranquils at 9 minutes, but also you'll be denying a lot of creeps to the mid lane and to their mid solo, and this is really crucial for your team as it gives your mid solo some extra levels and some safe farm under his tower. And this is especially good if he's a bit of a weak solo, maybe a melee tiny Beastmaster, CK, whoever it might be, and as well as denying levels to the enemy mid solo. And especially if there's a Trillium top say, you will also be saving your mid from any smoke ganks that might be coming his way, because he'll be safely back here instead of getting levels a bit too far out. So as you can see, I fireflied down all these trees here, and it's important to try and get every tree, as even one tree left could be an annoying hindrance when you're trying to stack and pull these camps due to the fog of war it creates. So right now we could be either checking out what the rune might be or going back to base, but we have enough mana. Like, you're gonna pretty much regen up before you need to use it again, so it's not a big issue, and you don't need to really go back to base or firefly out any more trees. So when we're pulling, we're always going to be wanting to pull in this direction. When there's no trees cut down, it's traditional to pull out this way, and that way does get a bit hard to do after 3 or 4 stacks, because the creeps will trip over each other at this stage, whereas this one is nice and wide and you'll have no problem stacking it up as many times as we want to stack it. So we're going to be wanting to aggro these creeps at the 53-second mark, walking out this way and hitting one of these creeps once, and we'll be stacking both of these camps. And it is important to be as precise as possible with the timings. After the new changes in the latest patch, it has been slightly more difficult now to pull, but it's still manageable. And so with this double easy camp now, we're going to wait until 7 seconds and aggro them into your mid creep wave. I'm just going to pause for just a second and talk about the best way I've found to aggro all the creeps that you can in your own creep wave, and that is all about using the range attack from the range creep in the easy camp. So if I was to keep walking and not stop, maybe they wouldn't catch up to me and I might only aggro 1 or 2 of these creeps, but at about this stage you're going to be wanting to stop just for a second and look closely at your neutral creep, watch for its attack animation to start, and then continue walking and try and get hit by its attack just as you're in with all your creeps, and that'll aggro every single creep in your wave. So I'm going to stop just a second, and if you practice that a few times you'll get used to it and you'll really start to notice a difference and aggro most of your creeps when you try and do this. Having said that, however, there are some creep waves, some easy camps that are a lot harder to stack because their range creeps aren't quite as reliable, and we'll see that in a moment. So we are going to want to firefly this down, because as we see, they are going to take out your creep wave quite quickly, and you don't want to be left trying to pick off creeps by yourself, because you might need to use this salve. And so once again, after doing that, we're going to come down here and prepare to pull this at 53 seconds. And when I say the second at which you want to pull something, that's the second at which you want your projectile to be hitting the stack of creeps. And so once again we're going to be going and pulling this into the mid lane at the 7-second mark. Poison creeps are actually the best creeps you can get, because this damage over a time poison itself will aggro your creeps. All you need to do is stand next to your creeps, and they'll just be looking around for whatever's trying to hurt you. And now, while trying to last hit those, but it doesn't really matter about those last hits, we're going to be looking closely at this and aggroing these triple stacked hard camp into your own creeps. And because there's triple stack now, they'll be able to kill off your own creep wave before the 3-minute mark, and you'll be able to pull again. And we're denying an entire wave to the enemy while your mid solo farms safely under his tower. And And so once again, we're going to be stacking these creeps at the 53-second mark. And it really is easy to do, just don't stop, keep walking, and they'll walk the full distance. And so, once again, we're going to be trying to stack. This is the worst camp you can get for the easy camp, because it only has this one range creep here, and he doesn't really like to hit anyway. So I think I do fail this, and it is quite hard to do with these creeps. And it's not really a big concern, it's not the end of the world. All you'll do then is start oiling them up and kill them yourself. But I just want to talk about this wave. If you do successfully pull this wave, you're not going to want to pull it into this hard camp for two reasons. The first reason is there is a catapult in that wave, and the creeps will take way too long to kill the catapult, and you'll miss your 4-minute pull. And the other reason is, if you just let them into this easy camp and then back into the lane, it will create a double wave, which will be killing this wave here quite quickly and pushing into the tower just about now. And that's perfect timing for your mid solo to then go and rune control unhindered, giving him further more advantage against their mid, which really is a massive difference in the early game. And so at 4 minutes with a 5 stacked camp here, we're going to start oiling them up and prepare to kill them. And you also going to put in quick buy tranquils and 2 clarities, because we'll be buying them up as soon as we kill this. So with about 5 stacks, that's enough for you to start oiling in this area, and then just come up to this ledge and keep on oiling them. They can't get you, but even if there are some trolls in there hitting you, it's not a big concern, it's not too much damage. You do have a stat shield after all. And then we're going to be quick buying up these tranquils and these clarities and sending them to us immediately while coming over here, ready to stack this at the 5-minute mark. Now, once we get to this stage, it is important to be mindful of what the enemy lanes are, and you might just want to have a look around at the lanes where the enemy heroes are. This isn't quite so a sheltered area of your jungle, so maybe the enemy might have an invisible bounty hunter lurking around, whatever it may be, but I just want to have a look out and just keep an eye around you. So having stacked this a couple of times, we're just going to be fireflying through this, and using our firefly vision, we can have a look at both of these medium camps and choose one of those to kill along with the hard camp. There are mud golems that can spawn in either of these camps. If mud golems do spawn, just try and avoid them, because obviously they are magic immune. And then we're going to be left with plenty of time to come back over here and pull this at the 6-minute mark. Now, another option that you have, if say they're aggressive tri laning down here, or you have a defensive tri lane using with the supports using these camps, and you really can't go into this area, you do have the option to firefly down these trees here and just do what you were doing at the start, pulling these creeps into the lane and denying them to this stacked camp that you're stacking. Now this won't give you as much gold as this other technique will, but it will help out your mid solo, and it's better than nothing if you're unable to come into this area. So once again, going to be using our firefly to take out these camps, and we're also wanted to be prioritizing firefly over napalm, because with level 4 firefly and even level 3 firefly, it's more than enough damage to take out these camps, and it's just more mana efficient than oiling everything up with napalm and faster. So we're going to immediately use up our regen, get back up after killing off these 3 camps, and come back once again to stack these at the 7-minute mark. Now, I've been quite lucky with my medium camp spawns. I haven't run into any ogres yet, so any mud golems, but even if you do run into 1 or 2 camps of mud golems, it's not going to be a huge issue. Just try and avoid them, take whatever is not a mud golem. But you'll see at the end of this at 9 minutes, I do have a couple hundred gold spare, so you will still be able to get your 9-minute blink dagger even if you run into 1 or 2 camps of mud golems. And so you'll see I've stacked this again, walking back over here to once again farm this trifecta of creep camps. And now with level 4 in the firefly, they do go down very easily. And you're probably not wanting to use your sticky napalm, you don't really need it, and it is going to use up mana, and at this stage, as you can see, we really want to conserve all the mana that we can. And so once again we return down here to pull this again. Obviously the trees have respawned, so we're going to be wanting to pull this way, and it is less than ideal, and it should be fine for this pull, but after this it does get hard to pull in this fashion because the creeps will trip over each other a lot at this stage as they reach this little bottleneck here. And so with that stack we return to once again kill off these camps, and as you can see we do have enough mana. And the reason that we would be stacking this hard camp instead of this hard camp is obviously that with this hard camp there is only an easy camp that you can really be farming with it, whereas over here with each minute we can be farming this whole trifecta of neutral camps, so it really is the fastest way. And so we can see we are approaching our blink dagger, and we're going to come back over here to the stacked hard camp. I think I do try to stack it one more time, but it really isn't necessary to stack it the last time. I think I do slip up anyway, because it is quite luck based. They do take their time through that area. I think I do just miss out on it, but that's not a problem. It's going to be fireflying over these, and you can use the rest of your mana to oil them up, and then it'll give you enough for your blink dagger and even a teleport scroll, so you can go and gank whatever you want to do. So this strategy has been used by professional players like WoWAF from IG, for instance, and it really does give your team a huge early advantage, both in an early blink for your Batrider and early levels for your mid solo over their mid solo, which can really be crucial in helping your team to snowball. Okay, that's about it. Thanks for watching. This is my first guide, so if you have any comments or criticisms, feel free to comment, and thanks for watching.